something a little different. We got we're talking NBA. We got a new trade that just happened. Carl Anthony Towns gets traded to the New York Knicks for Dante DiVincenzo. I think the Pistons first round pick, lottery protected, and Julius Randle. Now I'm hearing they traded Cat because they reached their ceiling with Cat. The Knicks weren't going to extend Julius Randle, and I don't blame them. Dante DiVincenzo has a fat contract. So, in my opinion, the Knicks improve and the Timberwolves get worse. Mike, what's your thoughts?
Well, with the Knicks getting,
Well, yeah, let's talk
Cat.
about the Knicks. Let's talk about the Knicks.
Yeah, let's talk about the Knicks. So, everybody's going to probably say that they're not, they're a good ass team now. They got Julius Randle, not Julius, I'm sorry, Cat. And with Cat, they're going to be able to space the floor a lot better. Now that you got probably going to start Jalen Brunson, probably going to put Josh Hart in there with OG. You can also bring in Cat, put him at the 4, while also having Mitch Rob at the 5, but you can also mix and match all the stuff. But it's probably going to make them a top 5 seed in the East, maybe a top 3 seed. I mean, you get a lot better offensively with Cat. I mean, Julius Randle didn't really do much in the playoffs. He was a choker, in my opinion. But you also got, I mean, Cat didn't do much in the playoffs either, but, he's definitely a way better caliber player than Julius Randle ever was in the first place. So, I mean, you could definitely mix and match a lot of the lineup and stuff. But I definitely think the Knicks got decent bit better. Can't really say the same about the Wolves, but it is what it is. But I think the Knicks generally got better in the long run.
Okay, so let me ask you this. How do the Knicks stack up against Boston, the Pacers, the Sixers now?
So with Boston, I mean, they're a way better defensive team, obviously. I mean, even with the Knicks, you got 2 of the best two-way players in the league, or 3-and-D players in the league. But, I mean, realistically speaking, the Knicks don't have that good of interior defense aside from Mitchell Robinson. I mean, neither do the Celtics in a way. KP can't really guard the paint like that. But his lateral quickness isn't as good as Mitchell Rob, but Mitchell Rob also, is very injury prone. So is KP at the same time. So I mean, it's kind of iffy. I mean, I guess against the Pacers they have one of the best interior defensive centers in the league with Miles Turner. So I mean, KP is not going to be able to go up against. I mean, not KP. Mitchell Rob is going to have a hard time against him. But I mean, Randall's definitely going to be able to outweigh any 4 that they have. I mean, no, Siakam is definitely good, but it's going to be one hell of a battle against the Pacers in the Knicks. I'll give you that.
What about Philly?
Philly? Interesting. Mitchell Rob, I'm not sure how much he can handle Embiid because Embiid is just really tough. And he's a good-ass player, and obviously he won MVP, so he's definitely an MVP caliber player.
Triple team him anyway.
That's for sure. But, I mean, you got the new addition of Paul George alongside Maxey, which is going to be, I think, a really good duo in the NBA. But you really got to hope and pray that Paul George stays healthy because that man misses at least 30 games a season. So you just got to hope for a healthy PG. But I think with the Knicks acquiring Cat, it's going to make the East very competitive, in my opinion.
Okay, so let's talk about the Timberwolves before we go back to the East. Let's go to the West now. Now I'm gonna go about the Timberwolves. As you know, for those who don't know, everybody at home watching, I claim to be the biggest OKC fan that doesn't live in Oklahoma City.
That's for sure.
So I feel, in my opinion, with the new lineup as of right now, with Mike Conley, Ant, Jalen McDaniels, Julius Randle, Gobert. Who else do they have? Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
You got
Naz Reid.
Yeah.
I think they got worse.
Luka Garza, but I'm not really sure how much of a player you can consider him.
I think that this trade made them considerably worse.
Now, I could say a hot take right now, in my opinion. Do you think that they would actually start Naz Reid and put Julius Randle on the bench?
It might be shit.
I mean, Naz Reid was a great 6-man, but I mean,
6-man of the year.
I mean, would you consider it if Julius Randle is playing like ass? Would you?
Well, if he's playing like ass, yeah, maybe Julius Randle is playing like ass, going up against the bench. players that might make him better. Yeah, but it seemed like Nas Reed. That's Nas Reed's role, though.
No, it is. Yeah, I agree. He's definitely one of the best 6 men in the league.
Yeah.
But you never know what can happen. But I think the biggest surprise coming out of this trade is definitely that first round pick from the Pistons.
Why is that?
I mean, any first round pick from the Pistons is crazy.
So I'm looking it up here. Nas Reed averaged 14 points, 5 rebounds, and an assist coming off the bench. So
Solid.
would you be willing to possibly mess that up? Because in the NBA, some players do better coming off of the bench sometimes.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mess up the good rhythm that he's coming in with being a 6 man. I would just say, and you never know what could happen in the NBA. A lot of things could, differ and shit could change. But obviously with Randall starting, we all know that, Cat was supposed to be the cornerstone piece until Ant arrived, and Ant has shown that he's probably top 5 in the NBA as a player. So you definitely know that that's their franchise cornerstone. That's who they're going to build around now. So trading Cat basically showed a whole new direction. I mean, Randall's going to still be the number 2, but he doesn't require the ball like Cat does. So, I mean, getting DiVincenzo also makes them a lot better defensively because they weren't a good defensive team to begin with.
Ooh.
I mean, not the good defensive team. Dan McDaniels is really good. Mike Conley is old in age. I mean, and can defend because he could jump to high hell. I mean,
I'm about to say.
Yeah, I shouldn't have said that part, but I mean, and shit, he hit his forehead on the backboard trying to block that. I think it was it Siakam or was it Tyrese? Yeah. So I mean, he's definitely good defensively, but I think DiVincenzo adds a whole new guard rotation for defending. I mean, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, I'm not sure how he's a good defender.
Solid defender.
Yeah, but I mean, you could honestly, start DiVincenzo, but I don't know if you want to ruin the chemistry between Conley and him.
Well, yeah.
So
unless you're gonna, which you're not, but unless you're gonna move Jaden McDaniels to the 4.
I mean, it's a possibility, but I don't think they would want to go. I don't think they would want to go that small with how tall they usually are, because length is crazy in the NBA. So you need as much height as possible.
So how you think they stack up in the West? They were what, the 3 seed? They were the 3 seed. I don't
remember exactly what seed they were, to be honest.
They were the 3 seed.
Okay. I could still see them in the playoffs because Ant could easily carry that team. I mean, Ant's insane as hell, but I'd see them a top 6 seed. I'd say worst case scenario, they're in the play-in. Okay. But realistically, I don't see them not making the playoffs, especially with Ant.
Yeah, I think Ant could. Listen. I don't put no limitation on anything Ant-Man could do. I done seen him going to Denver and just deep fry the shit out of everybody on the Nuggets. It did go to 7. It did go to 7, but I he's young. He's one of the best players in the league. He's one of the best scorers. He can shoot. He can drive.
He can do everything.
Defense. He can do everything. So I just hope. I don't hope. But I think with the teams in the West, the Suns are probably going to be better with another year. The Lakers, and maybe not. You got the Thunder are still there. The Nuggets are still there. The Mavericks are still there. I don't know if he can carry the Timberwolves in a playoff series in a best of 7 against either of those teams, bro.
It's going to be tricky.
That's why I say that adding Julius Randle in opposed to Cat, I understand why they did it with the contract and Cat's playoff performances and stuff like that. I think it makes them worse.
But if it ain't broke, I there's no reason to fix it. I mean, you just made the conference finals after how many years of not making it? You trade Cat away, although it's going to increase the tax payroll. I mean, I don't see why you would,
not just run it back.
Yeah. I mean, not just run it back. I don't know their free agency pickups. I don't know the draft picks that they chose in the draft. But I just don't. I mean, I get it. You're paying him a shitload of money for not really, playing good in the playoffs. But you guys just came off of the conference finals. how many years ago was it since they made it? Since the KG era? Like I don't like. I mean, I don't know. It's confusing. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of takes about like obviously the contract, maybe the playoff, like playoff performances, and like how he's been in the past couple years. But who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen? And I mean, I hope they make the playoffs because Ant deserves to be in the playoffs. He's a crazy playoff
they'll
performer.
make the playoffs. They'll make the playoffs. Barring crazy injuries, probably to Ant, they'll make the playoffs.
I mean, who knows? Maybe Julius Randle's gonna have the best year of his career. I mean,
And that could be true too.
You never know. You might need Cat might need a change of scenery, although I doubt it. But Randle
So
probably
could
definitely need
Julius
a
Randle.
change of scenery.
Yep.
Randle needed a change of scenery because when he had that bad of a season, everybody was saying, "Oh yeah, that contract is terrible. Yeah, you should be traded." And now he's traded. So what are the Knicks fans going to say now?
Right. That's a good point.
So
Okay. So now, keeping it out west, like I said, I'm the biggest OKC fan that doesn't live there.
there we go.
When I seen this trade across my screen, and I seen it was Julius Randle and DiVincenzo, in my opinion, like I said, I think they got worse. And I am so happy. I am so happy because I was talking to people on Instagram DMs, and they said that OKC got Isaiah Hartenstein and Caruso to be a better defensive team to match up against teams like the Timberwolves and teams like the Mavericks, teams like the Nuggets. And now, without them having two defensive bigs, I think, bro.
What do you mean two defensive bigs? Cat was never a defensive big.
Cat was never an insane defender, but he did good on Jokic when they brought doubles too. Yeah, they did.
Yes, that was doubles though.
This is what I'm saying, but that's the NBA playoffs though. So what I'm saying is now we got the two bigs, and that eliminates one threat.
I mean, yeah, but that's implying that you guys are going to start Chet and Isaiah.
No, that's not.
No,
it's not. No, it's not. You don't have to start them for them both to be on the floor, bro.
Fair enough.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so
I got you.
I was so happy. I think this betting sports book should raise OKC's odds to come out the West. That's
yeah. How do you think I feel? I know I'm switching back to the East, but how do you think I feel as a Heat? How do you think I feel as a Heat fan, knowing that the Knicks now have probably one of the better squads in the NBA? I feel like ass because the Heat haven't done shit in the past 2 years.
But again,
I mean, they traded for Terry Rozier mid-season, but that man Jimmy Butler ended up getting injured in the play-in against the Sixers, and then Terry Rozier barely played any part of the season when we acquired him. So now I'm seeing Cat getting traded here. I'm like, oh Lord, this is going to be terrible.
Yeah, but
we'd be lucky to make the play.
But again, does it really matter though?
Matter what?
The Heat have showed the shit don't fucking matter regardless.
Yes, but Jimmy is aging. We all know that. So I mean, you gotta. Who know? I don't know how much gas he's gonna have left. You know, he's only a playoff performer. He ain't a regular season performer. Okay. I mean, yes, you got Bam, who's probably one of the best bigs in the league, one of the best two ways. Hero, who's obviously better as a six man. So I hope he keeps his ego down and stays as a six man, so we could do Terry Rozier or Hero and Duncan. But I mean, you never know. I mean, I'm gonna watch all the games regardless because I'm a Heat fan. But it's gonna be painful.
So, since we're in the East, what impact do you think Cat will have on the Knicks?
Way better shooting because we obviously know he's one of the best shooting big men of all time, in my opinion. Aside from Dirk, he definitely spaces out the floor a lot better. He brings a lot more quality drop steps and inside presence on the offensive side. I think it's like I said, better spacing because he's probably like a 38-39% 3-point shooter for his career, maybe something like that. I think Julius Randle probably has maybe 32-33. I don't think he's that good of a 3-point shooter personally.
He's streaky.
I was just about to say he's definitely streaky, but I think it brings definitely a new element because I'm not sure people were too afraid of Julius Randle since you had Brunson and you had like all these other pieces surrounding him. But now that you have Cat, you have a really good secondary player that you can rely on that's more consistent in the regular season. We'll see what happens in the postseason when they make the postseason, Cat with Brunson and everybody. But I personally think that they're a lot better. I personally think that Cat's going to bring a brand new element to that team with a better 3-point shooting percentage. And I also think that he's a way better secondary scorer than Randall is. So I think there won't be one thing before you go. I think although Brunson's going to be number one, he's obviously going to be the main number one. They're going to also have to worry about Cat because he's going to be the secondary scorer. He's going to be way better.
Are you sure?
What? You don't think Cat's going to be the secondary scorer?
What about Mikal Bridges?
No.
Now the reason I say this, you traded 5 first-round picks for him before you knew Cat.
Yeah, you wanted the Villanova Knicks. Come on.
Because before you knew Cat was going to be available, this was a secondary scorer who you spent 5 first-round picks on, hoping that he can become the same Mikal Bridges that was traded the first time to Brooklyn the first year.
Yes, but that was also because you had Julius Randle. I mean, I would assume that Mikal Bridges would have been the second one compared to Randle because Randle doesn't need the ball as much as Cat does.
Okay.
So I personally believe that Cat's going to be the number 2 because he requires the ball more than Randle does.
Okay. No.
That's why I'm saying that. I mean, I could definitely see Mikal being the third or the second. Who knows? I think it's going to be either or with Mikal and either or with Cat. But I'm saying I think Cat is definitely he's more or less going to be the secondary go-to scorer in my opinion.
Okay, now last question, and then we can wrap this up. The post-up presence against, because I'm just thinking, I don't see anybody in the East beating the Knicks, in my opinion, other than Boston.
I was just about to say that, yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So that's why I keep bringing it back to Boston because they're the measuring stick right now. For good or for worse, you know, you can say what you want about their playoff run, but at the end of the day, they did beat the Mavericks. This is what I'm saying. What threat does he bring in the post against Boston?
It depends on who they play at the 4. Yeah, but did Horford retire yet, or is he still playing?
No, he's still there.
He's still there. Okay. Although Horford is an old head, he definitely has interior presence. He definitely has pretty good interior defense. I still think Cat can overpower him, honestly, because I mean Cat's in his prime right now. I would assume because he's 28, 29, something like that.
28.
So he's definitely in his prime. I think he could definitely. I think he can definitely get a quick first step on him. I mean, yeah, like he can easily get a quick first step on him. He could definitely shoot over him. Inside the paint, I definitely think he could do a couple of drop steps. Maybe do a post hook and stuff like that. But I don't think he should have a problem against Al Horford. But Al Horford is definitely one of the better old 4s in the league. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. What do you think?
I feel like this is how I feel to end this all up. I feel like this, bro. You play them in a series again. We have to see how both teams look. The Celtics could have a hangover or whatever it's called.
Championship hangover.
The Knicks, they have the defense to match. They have the 3-point shooting to match. They have the individual scoring to match. I think they have better post-up presence now with Cat. That could be the deciding factor about how they're controlling games in the post. Like I said, now look, you got Drew Holiday on the other side, but the way Jalen Brunson, I haven't seen anybody knock Jalen Brunson off of his spot. Watching Jalen Brunson last season, he can get whatever shot he wants when he wants. It's going to be a high percentage look, and he's more times than not going to make it.
Yeah.
Now, Drew Holiday can play defense, but if you can't bother Jalen Brunson, then what the fuck? Then you got to worry about Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Cat, Josh Hart. I just feel like the post-up presence that Cat brings to that team, they were missing without Julius Randle not being there. Isaiah Hartenstein posted up, but he's not Cat.
Yeah, but Julius Randle didn't really have that good of a post game, in my opinion.
He had a little bit of a post game.
It was a little bit, but he was more or less like an off the dribble, like spot up shooter kind of guy.
Which is why I say
Yeah.
They're getting a post-up presence that they needed.
And whatever qualities that Randall had in addition to that.
There you go. So that's how
I think
about it.
they're, in my opinion, I think they're going to be one of the peskiest teams in the entire East, and it's going to be so annoying to watch as a Heat fan because, oh my god,
And they're pretty complete.
they definitely are complete.
You got to think. You got. I'm gonna say it again. Brunson, OG, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, Cat, Mitchell Robinson, Cameron Payne, Miles McBride is pretty good.
I was just about to say that. Yeah.
So they have a switchable team.
Do they still have
They
Precious?
have a complete team. Do they have Precious? They have Precious also.
I'm trying to think of who else they have.
That's enough right there for the playoffs.
Yeah.
8 people we just named. So
I don't.
Yeah, bro.
I'm not gonna lie. This is reminding me of the Melo era right now.
Why you say that?
Because of I have a feeling that with how good the Knicks were in the Melo era, Brunson is bringing that hype back alongside Cat now. So that team is going to be a threat. Not even in the East. It's going to be a legitimate threat. And when is the last time we ever said that about the Knicks?
Said that about the Knicks. Exactly.
When is the last time we said that?
Exactly. A legitimate title threat, bro.
I think the last it was 2013, wasn't it? I believe.
Well, for what?
The Melo era?
It might have been 13 or 12.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. But it's good. I'm gonna enjoy watching the Knicks, but I can't say that.
I know you can't say it. I can say it.
You can definitely say that. I can't.
I can say it, but you can't say it.
Fuck that, no.
But I mean, that's going to wrap up the episode, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. I need you guys to like, comment your thoughts on the trade, who won, comment what you think for both sides, and comment, subscribe. Please run it up. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. I mean, appreciate you guys for tuning in. See you in the next one.